and I was like, have you gotten the precious florals, the Mother's Day special yet? And she was like, no, not yet. And I'm like, why? And she's like, well, it's just, I don't know if that's really priority right now. I need some Melissa or some On Guard, some antiviral oils. And I was like, girl, you need to learn about these oils. Cause I thought the same thing. I was like, is this worth my investment? I'm going to be ordering this month, right? Do I need to be spending money on more floral oils? And so I started digging into it. I'm a researcher. Hi, Corey. And when I started reading through all of the different oils, which I knew a little bit about, jasmine and neroli and magnolia and rose, didn't know anything about blue lotus. But when I started reading about them, I was like, holy smokes, yes, I need one. And so does everybody else in the world right now. Not only for their properties for physical health, but the emotional level too. So as most of you guys know, at least my team knows, I am huge on the emotional side of the oils. So I was really excited to learn about these oils and what they're going to do to help support us, because right now, more than ever, we need to be taking care of our emotions. I've talked about this before. Our emotions, if we do not process them and work through them and acknowledge them and sit with them for a moment, they settle into our cells, right? And then they manifest into dis-ease or disease. And right now, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I am on a roller coaster of emotions. One day I'm like, oh, we're going to be fine. Everything's fine. The next day I'm like, everything's not fine. I'm not fine, So it's just like this constant yanking me around. And, there was a few days last week that I was like under the covers, didn't want to come out, and I was acknowledging that, I was kind of freaking out a little bit, and it was really affecting my mental wellness. And so luckily I had the tools and the knowledge to be able to reach for my oils, and I was able to reach for this kit. So let's dive into this, because I think you guys are really going to love hopefully what I've put together. And then at the end, we're going to really learn to balance our emotions with these oils. I'm going to be using the word chakra a lot. So hopefully you guys are familiar with chakras. If you're not, that's a whole different class, but basically it's your energy in your body. So we want it to be all aligned, right? And all of these oils are going to help support every single chakra that we have in our body, so we are aligned and balanced and able to manage our emotions. So first, let's talk about Blue Lotus. If you guys haven't gotten this one yet, it smells fabulous. I think it smells, sorry, the dog's running across the room with her toenails. I think it smells like blue candy, like Jolly Rancher. My kids think that it smells like baby lotion, but I love it. So when I started reading about this one, I was like, this one is something everybody has to have, because it is all about spiritual connection. And right now, I think when we are in the midst of this much stress and worry and fear of not knowing what tomorrow brings, we tend to reach a little bit more for our spiritual side, right? We're looking for that spiritual connection, that comfort, that knowing that our higher power, whoever that is for you, is here with us, right? So we're really diving into that. And this oil helps you connect on that level, on that spiritual level. It also helps give you a sense of peace. It's really great for meditation and prayer, which I think a lot of us are doing right now. And it helps with depression because it can dispel negative thoughts and emotions. So I've been wearing this one on my wrists. It's also great for the root chakra, which is like in your tailbone. And that chakra is all about safety, all about feeling grounded. So by putting this one on your tailbone, you're going to be able to feel that safety, that I am safe, right? It's very precious, very precious. I'm so excited to have this. I want to hoard it, and I hope they come out with more. Let's see. I just want to check my notes because make sure that I am covering everything for this one. Okay. Yes. Oh, it's also really good for feeling anxious. Babe, can you water the dogs later? That would be awesome. I love you. Okay. Next, let's talk about jasmine. So jasmine, you're probably familiar with. We've had this one for a while, but this cute little bottle, isn't that adorable? I love this one. So jasmine symbolizes hope, happiness and love. And who doesn't need some hope and happiness in their life right now, right? This one is all about creation. It's about feeling like lifted, lighter, so you're not feeling that exhaustion. If you're feeling like that heavy weight of exhaustion on you, this is going to help relieve that. It's an antidepressant, helps with anxiety, helps with fine lines and wrinkles, which, if we're like stressed out all day, we're definitely getting some of those stress wrinkles popping up. But it also can penetrate the deepest layer of our soul, opening doors to our emotions. So like I said in the beginning, we have a lot of emotions going around right now. Are we processing them? Are we doing it to write out what we're feeling or talk about what we're feeling with our spouses so we're not holding that inside? I'm so worried that what's going to happen in 6 months after this, after we start recovering from this, the people that haven't been able to release those emotions, what kind of dis-ease is going to start coming up. So jasmine is going to help you get in touch with those emotions that you might be holding in so you can get them out. Okay, so whether that's journaling, talking to a friend, talking to a spouse, talk to your dog, like however you need to do that. Just make sure that you're vocalizing it and getting that energy out, okay? And then the chakra that we're going to use jasmine on is the sacral. The sacral is your lower belly, so think of like your womb because it is the area of creation and pleasure, which jasmine is also an aphrodisiac. Actually, I think all of the oils in this kit are. So that one. Next, we're going to talk about neroli. This one is a powerhouse oil, and I don't think we talk about this one enough for anxiety and depression. It is really a representation of the mind, the body, and the spirit, and it supports the nervous system on so many different levels. So this is going to help if you're having those anxious feelings, if you're having that depression, if you're feeling overwhelmed, confused, or overthinking. And you know what came up for me when I wrote that down? I was like, homeschooling. How many mamas are homeschooling and feeling so completely overwhelmed, confused, overthinking, getting tension headaches, panicked, irritated, stress levels are high because we want to do the best for our babies, but we're maybe not fully equipped to understand what we need to do for them right now, right? So neroli is going to help with that. It's going to help you not feel that overwhelming confusion. So put it on before you're homeschooling. It's also really good for insomnia. If you guys are struggling sleeping right now because you're worried, right? We're all a little worried. This is going to be a good one to apply at night. Also with the blue lotus. So blue lotus, I forgot to say, is a sedative. So put those two together before you go to bed at night, like on your feet, on your wrists, wherever. Just listen to your intuition and apply, okay? And then back to neroli. So another cool thing about neroli, and I love this, is that it helps with elevated cortisol levels right now. And our cortisol level gets raised when we're in that constant fight or flight mode, which we are probably in right now. I know myself, I am in that right now. I can feel it in my thyroid, and my autoimmune disease is flaring so bad because I don't know if I need to run or I need to stay and fight, right? We don't know what's going on. So when our body is constantly going up and down, like, do I stay, do I go, do I stay, do I go? That messes with our cortisol levels, which messes with our hormones and our adrenals and our thyroid and every part of our body, basically. Like, it jacks us up big time. Weight gain, ladies, oh my gosh, like, I can't tell you how much weight I've been gaining because I am like holding on to the nutrients of my food because my body's like, well, I don't know if we're going to need this food for energy to run away from the situation or if I need to hold on to this energy or this food for energy to fight the situation, right? So we're holding on to those extra calories. We're probably not eating the greatest right now. We're snacking a lot because we're bored, right? So that weight gain could be your elevated cortisol. Try your neroli. Also feelings of powerlessness, and then the digestive system. So emotionally, this is why we're going to put this on the solar plexus, which is your upper tummy. This is going to help you digest what is going on right now, what is happening in life. If we're not digesting this, that's going to cause some digestive issues. Yes, empaths. I know, Janelle, I was reading about that. Empaths, we gain weight to protect ourselves. We want to put on a barrier because we're taking in everybody's energy, right? That's another class too. Okay, I could talk all night about empaths. So this is the oil of shared purpose and partnership emotionally, if you get out your emotions book. And I thought, like, what does that really symbolize? What does that mean? And so when I started processing that, I was like, oh my gosh, we're at home with our family, right? And things can get tense when you are constantly having somebody in your bubble. Your children are constantly needing something. They're hungry, they need a snack, they're bored, they need help with homeschool, they want to go outside, and you're trying to still do laundry or bills or run your business. And then you have your hubby and you're like all over asking you to hold the paintbrush, right? So this is just to remind you that you're home with your family, that we are a unit, that we need to cooperate with each other, we need to tolerate each other, and we need to treat each other with kindness. Okay, so shared purpose and partnership is neroli. Okay, and I said solar plexus. Yep, that's your power center. So where your power comes from. So if you're feeling powerless, you might be having some issues in your upper stomach. So put some neroli on there, okay? Next, magnolia. So magnolia, this one is like, so sweet. Baby, can you turn that light down a little bit more, please? Magnolia symbolizes confidence, well-being, and opening. So this one is really popular for opening the heart chakra if you've been closed off, which right now our hearts are probably closed off, right? We don't know who to trust. We don't know who to listen to. We're hopeless. We listen to the news, we listen to our friends, we listen to Facebook, we listen to our partner, and we're all over the place and we don't know who to trust anymore. And so our hearts are closed off. Also the throat chakra. This is a really good one for the throat because we have difficulty maybe expressing how we're feeling. Like, what do you think about this? I don't know. Like, sometimes you just don't know how you feel because you don't know how you feel. Or you have a hard time expressing yourself, or you see somebody posting something on Facebook and you so bad want to be like, no, that's not what's going on. But instead you keep it right here. So that's going to really affect your throat chakra, okay? So magnolia is going to help you with opening up that communication, give you that trust back. It's also really good for that anxiousness, lack of energy. Who's had some of that lately? Anger and frustration. This one also good for respiratory. So like Kesha was talking about, we want to make sure that we're breaking up that respiratory or keeping up the respiratory open, the mucus. We want to keep it healthy, right? So this is going to help with the opening of the sinuses, supports the immune system, helps to relax the body and the mind, and also helps with insomnia. So magnolia is the oil of compassion. And I think we could all use a little bit of compassion right now because if you get on Facebook, people are tearing people apart for the stupidest things right now. It's like, what has this world come to, right? So I would love for doTERRA to sprinkle some magnolia all over everybody and have some compassion for your neighbor, for your spouse, for your kids, and even maybe for yourself. A lot of self-judgment going on right now about feeling bad about not getting something done, or they want to get something done and they haven't, right? So we're really, really need to have some compassion for ourselves in this situation, because I don't know about you guys, but I've never lived through a pandemic before, so I'm not quite sure how to react. So I'm just going to have some compassion that some days I'm going to be in bed, some days I'm going to eat what I'm not supposed to, and some days I'm going to have an amazing day, right? So this one, like I said, apply to the heart and the throat, okay? And then last but not least, we learned a lot about our beautiful rose last week from Laura, so I'm not going to go too deep into it. We know it's a high vibe oil. This is our heart healer, connects us to divine love, which I love when Laura connected that to your higher power. This is going to be that connector, right? We're going to apply this one to our crown chakra, which is the crown of our head, because that's going to connect us to our source, our higher power, God, white light, whoever your higher power is, right? It's going to help you from being judgmental of others. It's going to help you if you feel like you have a lack of purpose right now. It's also going to help with your intuition, okay? Which reminds me, I skipped the third eye. We'll go back. This one is anti-infectious. So if you want to look into rose, super powerful, super powerful antiviral essential oil. Also antibacterial. We've heard Kesha talk about it. She's putting it on her lymph nodes, right? Her throat. Look how passionate I am right now. I'm so red. This is just like, this lights me up, you guys. Rose is just going to keep you and your immune system boosted, is, putting it on every day, because you're also raising that vibration, that frequency of your body, which is being lowered on a daily basis from the news, social media, negativity, worry, right? That's smushing us down. We want to raise us up with some rose. So let me take a drink real quick. Rose also is an antidepressant, helps with anxiety, and it sedates inflammation. So if you have maybe a fever, rose would be a great one to run along the spine. It promotes empathy. So, some people might be lacking some empathy right now with what's going on. This is going to really help them find that empathy. Raises your vibration, and then which our lower vibration makes us prone to illness. Okay. So really, really good one. Like I said, we're going to put this on the crown chakra in the morning to connect to the higher power, boost our immune system, and raise our vibration. So we're only going into the world with love, divine love for everyone, and compassion. So I have put together, a little energy clearing for you guys if you want to do it with me. This is just something that I think we can use. I was going to go back to the third eye. Okay, so the third eye is also the blue lotus. The third eye is technically between our eyebrows. This is our intuition. This is being able to see the truth. So we have a lot of politicians talking to us right now, a lot of news outlets, right? So putting this on your third eye is going to be able to help you see clearly, see who is being honest with you. It's also going to help you be able to see what you need to do in order for you to keep yourself healthy and your family healthy, right? It's like that intuition, that all-knowing, that women's gut feeling that we get privileged to have, right? This is going to help enhance it by putting blue lotus on your third eye, okay? So let's take a breath for a minute. And even if you don't have these oils, I still want you to go through this with me, because I think this is something that if you need help with calming down that fight or flight response, stress levels, getting balanced, getting centered, if you feel just like overwhelmed by homeschooling or scared or frustrated, this is going to help you just really center yourself every single day. Okay. So I have been doing this for 2 mornings now. And I'm going to start doing it every single day. And I'm going to use some I am statements from Laura that we learned last week, which that video is still up. So if you haven't watched it, I really recommend you go watch that, because phenomenal. Let's see. I just got to put my oils in order here so I know what I'm doing. Really? Okay. So we are going to go through, and I'm going to use each essential oil on each chakra that I talked about, okay? And you don't have to get scientific into this. Do not stress out over this. Do not think you have to know everything about chakras. If you don't even want to call it a chakra, you don't have to. You can just call it body parts, whatever you want to do. This is just getting the oils on the body so we can balance ourselves. You're going to get all of the physical and emotional benefits of each of these floral oils to help you get into a better state of mind, okay? So first, let's take some deep breaths with me. We're going to do about 3 deep breaths, and I love counting because it helps me focus on my breathing. So I'm going to breathe in for 4, hold for 4, release for 4, and I'm going to do that 3 times if you want to do it with me, okay? So and make sure you're really filling up your lungs and your belly. Get that air deep, deep down inside of you. And you're blowing it out. And imagine as you blow it out, you're blowing out all the stress, all the worry, all the anxiety, all the fear that you might be holding inside your body right now. And just kind of let your body relax. Okay, and if you have the blue lotus, if you don't, you can use balance. You can use any of the grounding oils, but I'm just going to put a little bit on the tip of my finger. And I'm just going to put some on my tailbone because, like I said, this is going to be very grounding. This is going to help you feel safe. So as we rub that into our tailbone, we're going to say to yourself, I am safe. Okay. And then the next one we're going to do is jasmine. This one, remember, was for your sacral. Remember, that's your womb, your lower stomach. And we're going to put it on the next finger, and you're going to apply to your sacral. Say, I am healthy. And then we are going to use the neroli. This one is going to be on the upper stomach. Remember, that's where you're digesting all of the things that are happening right now, and you're just going to rub it in and say, I am strong. Okay, and then magnolia. Let's open up those heart chakras so you can receive love, give love. So I'm just going to rub it on my heart, the center of my chest, really, and say, I am well. And then magnolia is also for the throat. So we're going to do the same thing over your throat, kind of like where you would guess your thyroid is. I am able to state my needs. Okay. And we're going to go back to that blue lotus because we want to activate this third eye chakra so we know who is being honest with us. So you're just going to rub some between your eyebrows and say, I am connected to my intuition. Don't forget to breathe. Keep breathing. Breathing is so important, you guys, and I think we don't breathe enough. It's so good for your body. Okay, last but not least, we have rose. We are going to apply to the crown to connect us to divine love, right? We're going to say, I am divine love. Okay, and that's it. You've just balanced your chakras. Oh, check your hair. So try doing that every day if you have these oils. If you don't have these oils, there's a lot of different ones that you can use to help balance the systems of your body, to help you really keep your vibration up, because that's so important to keep your immune system boosted, right? So how was that? Do you guys feel good? Do you feel relaxed, hopefully, because it's almost bedtime, right? Almost done. Hang in there with me for a few more minutes. Okay. So now that we're relaxed, let's learn a little bit about Melissa, because Melissa is not in the petals, but it is on sale this month. And I have to say, doTERRA definitely knows what they are doing when they give us specials. They are looking out for us, you guys. I love this company 100%. I've been with doTERRA for 7 years.